On February 17th, 2024, Chris Chan went live for 3 hours, building a Lego set and then playing some Mario. My name is GiBi for the Lore Cattle Ranch, and as always, I will be summarizing the stream for posterity and calculating the amount of money that Chris made from donations. Chris consistently has audio problems, but denies that they even exist. At the beginning of the stream, in order to fix an echo, he speaks into his microphone very, very close to his mouth, constantly peaking it and breathing directly into it.
Hey everybody, this is Christy Weston Chandler, Sonichu Prime here once again. Oh, hang on. There, I think that toned down the echo. I can tell the audio is working, so I'm gonna ignore those comments.
This will continue for the entire stream.
Here's a little blast from the past.
Just like his previous stream, which I've covered before, viewers can donate money to make Chris watch videos. Previously, people donated to make him watch My Little Pony Gen 5, and he didn't like it. This stream begins proper with Chris playing with some Legos.
My big car! And with me driving it! Yeah! I broke the door off! Boy, oi. Now it's a convertible. Without further ado, gonna close the door. Again, I don't do shout-outs by specific names, but you have been noted. Thank you very much.
The person's name was just Emily. There wasn't any danger, Chris. Chris then makes an incoherent joke.
Adventure time! Come on, grab your friends. Go to fairly distant lands with Indiana Jones. And, get out of the way. We're not just jonesing. There you go. You got your one.
I don't get it. Chris says he doesn't know Indiana Jones very well, so he doesn't know who this character is. It's this guy.
Salah. Alright, good. I was right, like from Arabia, Hindi, I don't really know. And I do apologize. I do not mean to offend anyone, but I appreciate all cultures very much. I do. Friendly fist bump between nations. Boop. Yay. Yay.
I'm glad that Chris cleared up that he's not racist. I was getting worried, because he noticed that a character who's not white exists. Someone donates to ask Chris if he's met Mega Man.
Oh, he does. He comes in from time to time.
11 minutes into the stream, Chris gets upset that the donations aren't making the donation bing sound, so he starts to mess with the settings.
I do not want to have to end the stream because I want to make sure y'all are able to hear the audio.
Oh, we can hear it all right, Chris. Chris then restarts it with a new VOD and continues for almost 3 hours.
I'll be back in a minute or two. I just gotta restart this app right quick. We'll confirm that soon enough. Anyway, so let's get back to this.
Chris talks about how he likes to line up his Lego bricks so that the word Lego faces him, which is the first time in my entire life I've ever heard of anybody doing this, and I cannot comprehend how tedious that would be.
I liked having them facing me, the bottom of the word facing me, and I like having my bricks and pieces oriented that way.
Chris continues this thought, and I felt the need to highlight it because he slurs his words so much that I can't understand what he's trying to say.
Most of which, and just not so much where it's not applicable. But again, obviously, where my little minifigures dang here being like...
Chris then claims to be a Lego Master, which is an official Lego term that you have to meet qualifications for, and Chris certainly does not have a certificate of being a Lego Master. But maybe he does in C197.
Like I want a Lego Master since I am a Lego Brick Master.
Someone donates $2 to say, "You're literally built like Eggman, eat a salad."
I do eat a salad. I just answered that question a little while ago. I eat salads. In fact, I eat Happy Foodie bowls. Those are really good vegetarian-style food bowls. They're really good.
Are you learning Finnish? If so, why?
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about, guy? Eh?
Chris is learning Finnish because his female friend takes him to Finland all the time. Flutter is probably the reason Chris wants to know the language. If you guys have ever gotten curious about the stuff that I cut out when I'm making these recap videos, it's stuff like this.
I did my shopping. I buy my groceries. I went and got some more fruit. I got apples and oranges and bananas.
Chris starts quoting the I Love Lucy Vitamita Vegemin skit, but for some reason he includes the word flutter in the dialogue.
But yeah, why don't you all go flutter on down and get yourself a happy peppy bottle and find me a Vegemin.
I don't know if he thinks he's making a pun, or if this is entirely subconscious. This next clip is very long. Chris is going to talk about how he checked the Reddit and sees people talking about him and speculating about Flutter. He gives his thought on the matter.
Y'all, I look on the Reddit sometimes, I do, and I do make the observation that y'all are like, oh hey, Chris shares everything. Everything. So they're eventually gonna talk. They want to talk about things and so forth. But hey, you know what? If y'all knew everything, y'all would just know the further details of what was going on, and just like be more open with whatever friendship or details if I had any. But just that's a whole minor thing, and just obviously I don't. You know why?
Okay, so Chris is saying that if we knew more about Flutter, we'd know why he doesn't want to talk about it. We'd know details of their friendship. If I had any, obviously I don't. You know why? So he's about to tell us why he doesn't have a girlfriend.
The minority of you all, just the toxic, evil, darkest sinning individuals, and then just influencing as opposed to toxic, there's a bad that's more good than them, and they're more prone to becoming neutral, so they become actually good and light powered. Y'all should really get your priorities and thoughts and self-meditation, self-realizations out of the way, and realize so that y'all can really appreciate everything without being so freaking naive about it, for one thing.
Oh, it's us! It's our fault! He then rants about Jesus and the Bible for a while, still on the topic about how it's the toxic people's fault that he's not dating Flutter.
Think outside the Bible. The Bible is there as a guideline. It's a guideline and reference. It's there for the good reasons. I do appreciate it very much, as I did way back when I was Jesus Christ in Jerusalem. And then, of course, there's just a whole progression of things and nowadays. And then we had the further meditations and manifestations and insights. The Bible is there as a good starter. Then, of course, we have the Quran, which that's decent. It was based off the Bible, so that's a decent thing. It's not perfect by any means. Y'all are meant to appreciate the past, but obviously you are meant to improve on that and realize yourself what's meant to be and good for present tense with divine, good, common sense, and light power. You follow the good and divine messages that come into your mind. That feels right. That feels good, as opposed to just feeling like, whatever, and then words be like, the black and red energies around that just feels painful to you. Yes, obviously you are meant to follow that which is good and light power that just does not intuitively hurt you or hurt your aura and energy field.
That was all about how if we followed Chris, he'd have a cool girlfriend. I think it's about time to bring up this video's sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. Did you know that children are being diagnosed with serious conditions like type 2 diabetes and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and research is potentially linking ultra-processed foods to these outcomes? Morgan & Morgan is stepping in to fight to hold food companies accountable. With decades of experience fighting large corporations, Morgan & Morgan is ready to stand up for families who deserve justice. If your child under 21 has been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or fatty liver disease, hit the link in my bio to learn more. It takes only a few minutes to see if you have a case, and you can do it all from your phone. Now let's catch back up with Chris.
And then my second time reincarnating back in 1389 AD from my life then as Merlin's assistant.
Good old reliable Chris Chan. A viewer asks Chris how it feels to know that Liquid Chris is a doctor, while Chris himself is just pretending to be a woman. Chris answers the question as if it's about the character Liquid Chris from the Sonichu comics, not the real Liquid Chris.
I'm not pretending to be a woman. My panties are clean. And Liquid Chris is not a doctor. In fact, he's just trapped in his own stupor and mentality and arrogance and everything bad. So, I feel sorry for him.
A viewer tells Chris that since he's making money streaming, he's not eligible for disability benefits. Chris responds,
You don't know anything. You don't know anything.
I hope someone double checks Chris's taxes because he definitely makes enough on these streams to not qualify for it anymore. Someone pays to make a video pop up on stream. These are usually moderated and checked before they're allowed to play, but this one slips by. It's not appropriate, but Chris laughs.
What's Sweetie Belle up to? We are the cutie mark knickers.
Okay.
Chris starts singing the Two Phone song, but makes it about how he uses two phones to play Pokemon Go.
I got 2 phones! One for the trolls and one for my homes. I got 2 phones! One for the boys and one for my friends. You think I need 2 phones? I got one on Ring Ring Ring. I got another one on Ring Ring Ring. We play Pokemon Go and really maximize the effort, yeah!
Chris starts talking about actual Sonichu lore. This is the most worthwhile thing he's ever said in a single one of these streams.
We're going to talk about Sarah Rosechu, Roberta Sonichu, and Christine Rosechu, the 3 daughters of Sonichu Prime and Rosie Rosechu Prime, for a little bit.
Chris then gets interrupted.
So, back in 2014...
Go get that goddamn stuff off of there and fast.
You're fucking ruining my podcast!
Hey, you're ruining my day!
Oh. Do you know why they do it? During a...
Okay, I could laugh at that. That was actually cute.
Keep in mind that Chris had a lot of his Rosechu characters get impregnated by German soldiers, so I wonder if he's going to discuss that in this story recap. He doesn't. Chris talks about Christine Rosechu, and how because she's stylish, she's a fairy type.
Alright, so yeah, Sarah, Roberta, and Christine, they went on Pokemon adventures. Sarah, Roberta, and Christine, they found their respective Mega Stones, and they were able to Mega Evolve. Roberta Sonichu is a Psychic Electric type. Now, Christine Rosechu, she's not only stylish, she's magical. She has her own clothing line, by the way. Very successful. That goes into that a little bit. So when she Mega Evolves, she becomes an Electric Fairy type. Fairy. My brain just went blank for a moment. Give me a moment.
Chris also says that the Sonichu characters hung out with Ash, Brock, and an American Pokemon trainer, but he won't specify who. I don't know why.
And during the adventure, they're like sitting with Ash and Brock and their American Pokemon trainer friend, whose name will not be mentioned yet.
Ominous. Chris then describes a conversation scenario in which a talking rock that is not a Pokemon meets with his other characters.
Christine, I thought I told you to practice on... I believe I told you to practice on rocks and stones. But I did. I got one German-speaking rock and 2 Spanish-speaking rocks, and then Clyde here got real snippy with me. And you got just a plain little rock, a stone. His name is... He called himself Clyde. He came with the name. So, essentially, it's him talking, "Hey, I tried being kind like you. You tried being cold and hard as stone for thousands of years." And here's Sarah Rosechu. This is her voice. "Yeah, and I've heard geodudes with better attitudes than that. At least they can move." and then Brock laughs, picks Clyde up, and then says, "And now you move with my help. Hey, don't put me in your pocket." Brock puts him in his pocket, and then Clyde's like, "Damn it." "Hey, don't put me in your pocket. Damn it." Fun.
The adventure continues as Chris rambles about the Sonichus going to Equestria and meeting Twilight Sparkle.
Another part of their adventure, so Christine ends up had a portal open while she was accessing Twilight's library, and Roberta's Electivire and Sceptile, they were following Roberta as they were leaving the nearby Pokemon gym after having earned a badge. They were not talking yet, but after they entered a portal and they entered Equestria, exposed to the magic of Equestria, they crashed into Twilight's little library there, and Christine's like, "Oh my gosh, are you both okay? Oh, this is going to be quite the mess to sort through and organize." And then Sceptile comes up all groggy, and then he's like, "Oh, yeah, I think so." And he's got like a British accent. "Gar, why'd you have to run into me like that? Like for?" And then Gar comes up, and he's just like,
I don't know. I couldn't help it. I didn't see that. What was it? Tick up. What was this doing on the ground?
It's just obviously there's transfiguration magic. Christine was practicing turning rocks into teacups.
Wait a minute. What are you looking at that for, Trevor? Wait a minute. Am I talking?
Well, I should widely think so.
You're talking too. What's going on here?
Good stuff.
Chris then explained that the dimensional merge is happening, and he proves it by showing this drawing. In the drawing, Sonichu says, "What still baffles me is that they on the 1218 half, some of them, can't see the same dimensional tears all around like we do." And Rosechu says, "How can they not see us and these tears around and right in front of them right now?" Rosechu looks like she got a lobotomy.
But those holes, those dimensional tears in the sky are as clear to us as it is clear with them there.
Someone pays to show a video of Chris that's been dubbed over in Filipino. Chris's response is legendary.
Kamusta na inyong lahat? Ito si Christine Chandler na nagulat muli mula sa bahay. When I celebrate 1218, pariganing aring babala.
Oh, and yes, that was a classic example, so that's an example of speaking in tongues.
Oh my god. Someone asks, "Why do you like NSFW AI pony art on Twitter?" Chris responds,
You know what, I could answer that question. Shoot. It's good art. It's decent. It's there. I don't like it all, but it's positive and good, and just obviously, yeah, it's the ponies. Shoot. It's there. Y'all like porn, too. I like porn. I have my share of pornography and everything. I know y'all do as well, so don't you be judging me for liking a few images that be like, a little bit sensual.
Chris starts talking about the YouTuber I Love Kim Possible a lot. This was long before her drama with Saberspark. He says that she's psychic.
And in a sense, she and I are similar in that sense, where we do things on the right timing, on the feel, because we are connected with the core and the core of the universe and the Akashic records and everything. So yeah, if you're hearing SKP, you're psychic. You don't know it. You don't have total psychic powers, but you got a lot of psychic power and potential within you. You think about that, you meditate on that.
We are now over an hour and a half into the stream. Let's catch up with Chris's donations. So far, Chris has made $182.35. Someone asks Chris what would happen if he turned into a kangaroo.
That'll never happen. Not in this timeline, not in this universe, period. No. In a distant, alternate timeline, there was my self-counterpart there who was born a kangaroo in a society of sentient kangaroos, but not here, not in this timeline. No. I'm half human, half sonichu. And God level. Pardon me.
A viewer asks Chris if he will continue his love quest.
Oh, I don't need to. I'm married to Magic-chan, Krizel, Savannah, and Mutu. You see these 4 rings? Okay, well that's this one, that's just an extra ring, but this, that, and this, wedding rings. Krizel, Magic-chan, Savannah, E2 Prime.
This next one speaks for itself.
I have not watched any hentai anime whatsoever in years. So I can't really answer your question about any recommendations at all.
Someone keeps donating to complain that the video that they paid for isn't going through, even though it's safe for work. This is likely because it's a pony thing and Chris's mod is blocking them. The third time they complained, Chris gave an actually intelligent answer.
It was something in there that you were wanting me to see that I should not be seeing, therefore that was a part that was not safe for my work.
Bing-bong.
A viewer tries to trick Chris into saying the N-word, and tells Chris to make them into an animatronic. Chris says,
I do not consciously have that ability in this timeline to make a animatronic robot.
No one tell Chris about the 0-point field. Chris sings the Pokemon theme song on request.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, to train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Teach Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, gotta catch them all, it's you and me. I know it's our destiny, Pokemon. Oh, you know you're my best friend. In the world we must defend. Pokemon, gotta catch them all, your heart's so true. Our courage will pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you, Pokemon. Gotta sing along, gotta sing a song, Pokemon.
Someone donates to show a clip from My Little Pony, and Chris screams to drown it out.
Ah! Okay, good.
Chris finishes the Lego build and then starts playing Mario without any fanfare. He just transitions.
That's up. Anyway. Okay, well, fortunately I knew about this. Wow, we almost on par with that. Groovy. Alright, well. So I prepared this little lovely detail. I was supposed to be on top of that thing.
Chris ends the stream and yaps for 5 minutes while waiting for more donations.
It's me. I'm the only thing. It's me. I'm the anti-hero. Taylor Swift. Venus Swiftie. Gotta get Swifty with the Swifties. That's not bad.
I disagree. The final donation is...
Yeah, okay, well, I mean, you're saying it. I'm not gonna say it because that would be mislabeling.
And I don't know what that currency is. This is how the stream ends.
You all have a great, safe, and blessed day and night. Very good. You. Oh. Let's see. Oh, okay, yes.
The end. The total for the second half of the stream is $135.30, bringing the total for 3 hours of Lego building to $317.65, and then 2 of whatever this currency is. Thank you for watching. Be sure to be nice to each other in the comments, consider supporting creators you admire, not Chris, and never lose sight of the things that are important to you. I will see you next time. Zap to the extreme.